After that, I can't. What is it, Papa? Hmm? What is it, Papa? Hmm. You felt it? You felt it too? Yes, I know. It's okay. You felt it, I felt it, we both felt it. You lay down, come on. Okay, there you go. Let's see if I can find some. Want some more? Hmm? Want some more, Papa? Yeah? You want some more? Yeah. You want some more, Papa? Huh? You want some more? Where you going? What you doing? What is it? What you doing? You wanna play? It's too I gotta go back to sleep. I just gotta talk. I gotta share this. Hey, what you doing? You want down? Hmm? You, oh, you just wanna be all chicky chicky chicky. Yes, you do. You always wanna go into places because you see that don't mean you can go in there, Papa. No. Good boy. All right. This thing was dead. Let me see if there's enough charge on. Yes, enough charge. Hey, grand morning, everybody. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Cause I need to go back to sleep. First, let me say, but I started by I woke up about 3 o'clock. You know me, dreams. I went to sleep pretty early. I think I West Side Kulik had a live. Big Mike called in. Me, Rondo, and West Side. We discussed and talked about what we wanted to. I held back a lot, as usual, because being informed doesn't mean you speak everything. And it was great. It was a great live. Great podcast. I was gonna go on, but I was tired, so I put on some show. I don't know. I wanted to watch something based upon something because it's relevant. It may be relevant to what's going on, and I dozed off. Uh, Probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I don't know. I was tired, so I woke up at 3. So that's 6.5, 7 hours. I think I got up and used the bathroom once because I drank plenty of water, and I do my little I take Mullen extract, 92 drops in about 2 ounces of water, and anywho, I remember I shared with y'all, for those who are still here, who are able who been checking it out. Casey, I shared last year, when I had actually came on, um, when I actually I came on. Let me get this. Let me get this. This is my glasses. I can't leave them on the floor because he likes to chew on them. All right, don't even ask. He does. Every eyeglass, every pair of so-called eyeglasses I have, he likes to chew on them. I don't even know where to start with that. Anywho, I remember expressing that, and you can look it up. And most people didn't even notice. That's always the case. I said 1918, Spanish flu epidemic. Spanish flu epidemic. I said it's funny how all the patents at that time, and it's hard to find it. It's a PDF. Were in roughly around 50 U.S. large cities. 50 U.S. large cities. Didn't say states. Here on our soil. You wouldn't be surprised if I told you the names behind them, because then you would understand this fake 13 tribe, Gog Magog, the reality. Building a synthetic chicken making building in North Carolina. Um, People had a hard time dealing with that. I says, how is something patented? When does the patent happen, and why does it take place? I was working with InventTech. I I had quite a few inventions, and I decided to take one or two. I had grafted. I had made plastic models with a little bit of aluminium, which is kind of like a stronger form of aluminum. Aluminium is the same thing, but thick. And they were working models, kind of, springs that you could buy at Radio Shack and stuff like that, and model shops, and for RC stuff. And I had to have a semi working because it can be fabricated and created by a team as long as it's plausible. Well, the guy James, some Irish, fake Irish Jew, whatever, Inventec, um, after a year and a half, me calling, putting in a few dollars for the patent, he went to a few places. This is a story. It's going to take place. Either follow me. I've talked about it before, not so much in depth, I don't think. Whack and Hud, Home Depot in its heyday, when it was, a few other things that were going on. He was supposed to go to this exposition where he would show. Come to find out, he was pretty much lying to me, and he was setting it up as his. Anyway, he had left with my invention, one other one I'm not going to talk about because he didn't really get the core. He only had the idea. Me, I still have the real invention, as far as, you know, and ever since then, I started to look, because of my uncles and what I was told, what I learned overseas. I started to look at them as very dastardly. And what do I mean by that? Well, I look at so-called Africa. We'll say Africa for namesakes. Uh, Let me pull it up because I don't feel like sliding. Let me pull it up. want to make sure I have the right land because it was a few places, but it was only really one place where it started. And we hit a WHO and this, that, and the other World Health Organization, all these other HIN, and it has come to most people's reality that these places, these consorts. That's why it was important for me to say study up on the Theosophical Society and Zionism is blatant irresponsible because most terms and words used have been perverted by the people who are utilizing them, mismanaging, misutilizing them. And Ebola is a man-made disease. You can look it up. Look at where the patent's at. And it's disturbing that it's always some melanated country. We've had enough pale skins. I don't use the term white. I cannot. Pale skins. We've had so many pale skins who've conveyed this. Scientists, um, gene therapy people, microbiologists. So this the slew of them. Some suicided, some hidden away. But the reality is, we've had it. We've had them speak out, and it's always the consensus to see that these individuals over in Palestine. It's not all the people, but these places and these high places between the governments. To hide this information. Now, me personally, it's not that I care about the information because I don't need the information. Y'all lack the truth and responsibility because the lies is what so many of you live by, and you're not going to go and research this unless somebody puts it out there. And a lot of times when somebody put it out there, it's not lucrative enough. Nobody wants to follow suit with that because they feel like, hey, but the story came out of these kids, and they recorded these kids. A lot of them still alive, very much so, who saw bats and a grand tree, an old tree, and they set a fire, and then they collected all the bats they could take back to their encampments, to their rural area, and they ate them. This is what comes from wars and stuff. And a little time later, I think one story in one family, a child had become sick. And the individual believed it to be witchcraft, not knowing the term witchcraft and where the term actually came from, because it only takes one generation to rewrite history. We know this. Now, I'm going to take my time with this. So if it's too much for you, get on about your day. I'm just going to still do the live and it'll be uploaded. You can always come back and watch it later. It's important that I speak on this. And other family members, his wife, and it started to get sick. And, there's actual videos of what they call them walkers, bleeding from walking, sick. And instead of getting the appropriate health, they would have these army cats come in with these sprays of some kind of insecticide or whatever. I forget what this stuff was. So I'm using that loosely. Just research it. And they would snatch the individual up, wrapped up the same gear that I saw these people in this video I have on my tablet, a few of them, how they carve these, working with Asians, carving these bodies up. We're talking about look like Arab, it looked like all kind of bodies, Asian bodies, black bodies, and like a butcher shop. I'm telling you, I can't show the video on here. It would be, even if you was to share it to me, Red. No, you couldn't handle it. And how they deboned, and they had the same outfit on, almost UN-ish looking, blue, yellow, the garb, not the suit that you see them wear with the breathing apparatus, with the big helmet where they can actually, no, the other ones that are like quick, like if you was to work in a slaughterhouse. Anyway, they snatched this young boy up because the people were following and cursing and hating. They didn't know origin, the reality of the situation, but fear, because they knew that this walker, sadly to say, had the disease. But the thing that's so funny is if somebody has this disease that is very contagious, like the movie Contagion, why would you want to walk around to kill it and release his blood into the soil? See, ignorance is beyond culpable. And we're dealing with a world full of it. There is so much misdirected hatred. Not to say that hatred needs to be focused and directed, but if it's focused and directed in the right way, it can manifest something different to be able to, instead of being an antagonist, you can be pro, you know what I'm saying? Protag. And you can deal with it in a different way. Yet, to have some more clarity, I know it was in, let me see where it was at. I got to look at where, because I know they have many different places that the breakout started. I think Sierra Leone might have been one, but let me see if I can pull it up because we know it's Guinea for those who aren't aware. But okay, I want to see the hot spots because naming that doesn't mean nothing. So we have certain areas that aren't so much connected yet viable within the first 9 months, and it looks like to me what I did was in all of that part of West Africa, um, Grand Cape Mount, Conakry, Maryland, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Rwanda, Mamo, Kenya, Bok. It's holy wow, smack! What I never knew all this. Grand Bassa, it's Yomo. All these are countries within Guinea states, I guess you would say. Mamu, um, oh my goodness. Then you see like Kindia and Labir and Farana and Northern Konkan and Grapulu and Zogugo and Grand Guiche. You see places that are unaffected. But I always say to people, where the hotspot are, it seems the most desolate. The unaffected, it seems like if you would look at the time period, the people that went out to give certain shots, flu, it seems like where they left from was the most unaffected, where the stuff was administered by certain individuals. I'm not saying it's the fact, I'm saying look it up. Whether it be French, UN, Dutch, whatever, to inoculate. It seems to be around the time when that fictional story of these kids who are still alive, who ate these bats, didn't get sick themselves. You can see the information, you can see certain things that may be misinformation as far as real information. But if you don't know how to look at these things and put them together, you will only accept the narrative that has been given. I would advise any of you, don't take my word on it. Look at, because I'm not a medical authority on this crap. I am only the person who had a dream. A realization came in. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna point something out to you. I'm gonna show you something right quick. Turn the light on. I don't want to turn the light on because I really want to go back to sleep. I like the jazz playing at night. I'm just going to scrap whatever. Let's just. I'm gonna use a take $1. I don't need to show you anything else. Let me take $1. My uncle John Amos, his son, he was in the Caribbean, and a friend of his. They did something that I've done with certain individuals to show people. And when I showed these individuals, they went on and became rich, but they didn't get the message. One did, but he only stuck it with his family. I'm not going to mention no names. People I went to school with, Montclair. They went to Wellsburg. Some of them went to Immaculate Conception. Some of them went to, like I said, these individuals, I showed them when I came home from the military. Let's say you're sitting here and one of you are sitting here. I have $10 in my pocket. I just so happen to owe him 20. He just happens to owe him 20. And he just so happens to owe me 20. So he goes, hey, what's up, Unc? You got that 20 you owe me? No, I got 10. Let me give you that, and I'll owe you the other 10. Thanks. And then he goes to him, hey, you got that 20 you owe me? He goes, oh, I got you. I got 10. And when I get to 10, I'll tighten you up. And he goes, thank you. And then I go to him and goes, wait a minute now. You owe me 20 as well. Well, here, let me give you the 10. I owe you 10. And then I go, hey, here's that 10 I owe you. Thank you. And he goes, hey. And he goes, well, here's that 10 I owe you. And he goes, and I go, hey, you still owe me 10. So you give me the 10 back. I just showed you how I kept the, the fiat right where it needs to be. And yet we all gain from it. It's the same thing with our perception on the world we are in. It's a dividend kind of. If we allow ourselves to extrapolate upon the world given that has nothing to do with who we are, then we go we partake in that. But if we were to have the world that we supposed to exist in and keep it betwixt us, even if it's the worst thing that they're doing their best to get rid of, which we can stop, um, it would stay with us, and there has to be no perversion, no hate. I look at all the young brothers who are killing each other for 20, 50, $100. And why? Because they do not know the importance, nor see the importance that it can be a balance within a system within its own. See, everybody's still running to these worthless individuals like Puff Diddy, his gay self, and Buster Rhymes, all these worthless, the DJ Khalid and Faith Evans, and all of them are no good. Lauren Hill got out. Erica Badu, we're all of them worthless. Farrakhan worthless. T.D. Jakes, Kirk Franklin, all of them worthless. Snoop went to the Caribs, got with the Lions, Ja, this, that, and other. He's doing his best. But the symposium, because he has to be careful, he knows the reality of what goes on. And he made a deal. He even expressed that in one of his songs. When he's riding on a bicycle on the handlebars with the fro, he told you he made a deal with the devil, but nobody listens. Andre 3000 is still cutting away. You saw with Most Def when he cut away what they did. And yet they're still, but the thing is, none of them are doing the simple thing of showing the communal response, of educating each and every one of you the importance of keeping it within the circle. Why? Well, I'm reading William Cooper, Silent Weapons for Silent Wars. We have crossed the Vex into the next performance. And none of you seem to be really getting it. I'm reading Arthur Kessler, one out of maybe 15 true descriptions of who these individuals who are being propped up by media of lies. I don't have to begin myself to keep pushing that. It's not like you don't know. And the whole system above you to which you incorporate yourself in, because they incorporated you without your knowledge of being incorporated. Yet you perform duties as dully as if it's supposed to be done. When you can elevate above all that. A lot of us, our time here is going to be short. Doesn't mean that we're not here. It means that these things will continue to do the dumb things they do until they're all destroyed. And I mean every last one of them. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's going to be that way because the majority of you are very lazy. You don't know how to find the righteousness in you, the truth in you. You will listen to everybody that will come along. I had a woman on Instagram comment about this post right here. I'm going to share this. I blocked her. I told her, you know what, you sound stupid. Because most of you sisters are stupid. And I'm not saying it with hate. I say it because you are, literally. You don't know you are. You just are stupid. Like most of these men running around. Coily Ray. Coily Ray's a boy. I'm gonna say this. All right. I went to school in Jersey. Okay. And we have this brother, King James. James Sistrom. Good friend of mine. Love him to death. He's part of the Hebraic movement, but not like the people on the corner. He's kind of like me, more of the Hebraicism of living it, knowing he's an orthodox. Now, he might think some things about Africa or something. We were everywhere. That's Corley. That's Benzio's cousin, first blood cousin. See, we all know these people because where we come from, the fake design, the Ashkenazis utilize us for energy, and because of our creativity, even from hip hop. Me between New York and New Jersey in the times of drug dealing, in '78 when I became a breakdancer, and I was rapping and all that. Beach Street, Twin City Breaker, you know, and Corley Ray's a boy. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care about all the hormones, the big ass hard jawline take. I don't care about all these little. You see all the dances. He circles himself around nothing but all of them. But are you getting what I'm saying? I'm not cursing Coily Ray. I don't care about what's going on there. I don't give two damns. Benzio sold his soul a long time ago. You see what he accomplished and where he's at. What I am speaking about is that we have been a drab to ourselves because we've allowed them to implicate us to a system that we were never supposed to be in. And here it is, we are great warriors who have been broken down. And that energy is so misguided and misfocused. We don't get it. Anyway, the video at hand. And this little black thing, this woman, or whatever you want to call her, she got so upset um, at this. And it only
years old when I found out. Any woman who becomes pregnant, okay, even if that woman suffers a miscarriage, even if that woman tragically makes the wrong choice and gets rid of the life within her through an abortion, or if the baby comes to full term and sees the light of day, cells are exchanged between the mother and the child.
Between the mother and child.
Living cells. So that after either a miscarriage, tragically, sadly, an abortion, or birth, those cells will remain in your body, ladies, for the rest of your life. You have, and if you didn't know it, you're probably going to start crying. You have living cells of all your children in your body right now. Right now. Even if you had a miscarriage. Right now. That's not it. It doesn't end there. That's amazing. But it also happens the other way. That us, all of us, who come from a mother, we have the cells, living cells, of our mothers in us, in our bodies. The scientists were kind of joking around with it, and they said, maybe this will help explain how we always say that mother has some. I was today years old when I found out.
And this black thing with the Erykah Badu wrap around her goofy head in a liberal state, whatever you want to call it, made the most dumbest comment. It says, I'll keep to my body, you keep to your dick. Excuse me, I didn't want to say anything like that. And I says, you know what, you sound as empirically stupid and dumb as you comment, and so disconnected and disjointed. You go on about your little life, and you hold that thought, you hold that precedence until the day you can't utter mama. It's the same with the men. It's more eradicated. That's why it's 80 days for one and another period for the other. So much more. You see what I'm saying? When I was reading, I'll read it to you again later on today. to reiterate that, I want to go on to that trail. That's not the point I'm making. We're so connected, and they have disconnect. They have created an outside source that is not invigorating to revigorate or anything, but destructive, and it has no dual. There's no duality with it. There's no reality of it. Now, y'all know I despise religion because I know contextual what is for. The problem is most of these fake pastors, preachers, and pimps, and pulpits, and deacons, and everything else, they have constraints. Or aren't they just that sadistic and broken? They don't know how to take the religion and utilize it in a way to cultivate the individual to look upon themselves and see themselves, because it's about every one of these individuals is about how they're going to pay their next bill, regardless of being a 305(c) and having heads as account numbers. See, it's away from the truth of what can actually be accomplished by the religion and more the perversion of what the religion was created out of. That's why I despise it. And it's from us. If the world actually woke up and knew the truth, regardless of their little feelings, if they knew the destruction ahead of them, and I mean, not the destruction like they see in this stupid Ukraine and all that other dumb shit. Excuse my language. That's what it is. Proxy war. Because there's wars being fought all over. Have y'all paid attention? Have y'all? These bastards cannot live without these sacrifices. The enemy wouldn't be able to come in without this sacrifice. We don't know how to stay to ourselves. We have forgotten that. And the importance of letting everyone know to leave us alone and stay away from us. No, we have a bunch of young dummies, and I don't say this to be mean. I'm saying what they are. They're dummies, propped up by promulgation of all inclusion. To what? Well, they're not paying attention to what's going on. If they was, maybe then they want to be that sadistic and not know what's going to happen to them at the end. We don't need to be all inclusive. We don't need their system. What we need them to do, what they should be doing if they were actually that intelligent and smart, stay away from us. If you look at the truth of history, everywhere we were in our most tired state, they fought and they kept bringing people off of boats to continue to bash and create harm. But what they don't ever tell you, why are we still here? Because we fought back and we kept beating them. Look at Georgia, how they went and burned a grand city over there and was murdering the handful of Negroes, the melanated and autochthonists, not nobody from no Africa and all that other crap, and a few pale skins who were with us, married into the families. Some of them Ashkenazis, murdering them. Even on the other side, leading the way. And you know what happened? The melanated people, just like in San Francisco, just like every Oklahoma and everywhere else, got together and they shot back and they killed the majority of them, the military and everything, and they stopped. They ran like they had knickers on. We're talking about some of the best trained that have been doing it overseas and everything. And then we ain't talking about no. The problem is the spirit of the people. They had to be slow in crushing the spirit of us. I keep telling you, the spirit of us, the light, the Hava, is stronger than you can even ascertain. But you still want to be all inclusive. I'm not telling you to be all inclusive. I'm only speaking truth that we don't have to be so belligerent and nasty to them. That's not how we accomplish anything. And that's why I had an issue with Baba Rashid and all that rebel rousing he was doing. It's not a time nor a place for it. We're beyond that point. You gotta use this and the light in you. When I tell you we had idiots come in my apartment, I'm not lying to these idiots that came in here, and they're gonna suffer from the most painful death. They can't even imagine. You can have the MS and all them people, the cartels, cutting people's face off and taunting them with water. You want a drink, cutting their arms off, keeping them alive, and then removing their genitalia, and then making a scrap with the face so it look like it's still alive while they're wearing it and eating the liver and the lung. That's not even nothing compared to the pain they're gonna suffer. And they don't get it. Because, see, they want to believe in what they're doing, but they can't believe in something that is no different but opposite from where they stand. That's how foolish they are and how gone they are. They think it's a game. And I keep telling y'all, it is not a game. Our forebears would curse them, and literally their teeth would fall out their mouths. They would drop dead in stride. And here we have these microbiologists and these scientists and all these idiots and these people who want to think they control the narrative, not realizing that we don't really need these things. And they're going to suffer horrendous. And they believe they're not. So they believe what they can do is, we're going to make everybody suffer until it. They're not even mentally stable. I'm not saying this to push hate or nothing. I'm saying that they're playing somewhere where the games have stopped long ago. You know what total annihilation is for? For the very thing and the fact of us waking up. See, the earth will render itself void of all life, but we shall be here. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter the enemy they fall in. It doesn't matter what they create. It doesn't. It don't. The problem is it could stop though. It could change. We still could do it. With the little secret little goofies running around derailing trains and all that dumb stuff. The little jazz, whatever they want to call themselves. We got a name for it, but I'm not gonna say that here. Because then it might stop some things. I don't want to stop nothing. I'm not here to stop because they're too stupid to know the truth of anything. They're just learning as they go. It's believing they're 10 or 15, 20 steps ahead. Y'all are the important things. I just like to read. I would like to see it all stop, but it's not. I know y'all probably say, right, but that's contradicting. No, it's not. You haven't been paying attention. They've solidified their position in their place. They don't believe. They think they're going to be all right. And there's a lot more to this earth than y'all think. Then you probably know a percent of its truth. Anyway, that dream, I felt it important to show you the importance of keeping it in between us. You must disperse all ideas of greed and foolish accomplishments. There's no accomplishment if you believe it's just you. What I did and what I do, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't mean nothing. It is but squalor in a period of a short time, meaningless. And it's effortless because it's by yourself. Women, and some of you have had abortions, you know it. Margaret Sanger, before them, we didn't have abortions. We didn't murder our own. We didn't, like I said, up until the 1920s, wasn't no woman sleep with no woman, no man sleep with no man, except for the perversions. On libations of drunkenness and stupor. False sense of pleasure could be found in any and everything. That is not what it was about. We have never been about that. We have become about that because we stepped across the fence where we weren't supposed to. I'm telling you to bring your feet back over and bring your head along with it. And the body's going to have to come and stop. If Callie wants to sit there talking about there's no God, this, that, and other, well, maybe he first needs to study the etymology of it and just speak about religion And you better get deeper and study or pay attention to those of us who have talked about it for numerous times and do relevant researches based upon that to have better resources and references other than, oh, I had some pain in my life, because we know that the words are just, okay? And we don't need to know. We don't have to know. There's a certain way we're supposed to live. Y'all know I detest that word for a reason. We have been removed and shut away from the creator of creation. Yet it is still with us. In solidarity, we have just removed ourselves because of lies, wars, destruction. And though many things have been passed down to us, it's been passed down to us in such a broken manner based upon fear. I am telling you to remove all fear. I am doing my best to get you to remove all fear first, to learn who you are. And learning who you are doesn't mean, oh, well, what religion am I in? Those are fool's games. Learning that you are more capable of much more. Women, you are so powerful. And you make us so powerful. We were already made powerful, but you're like how do you say? You got one of those EVO cars, you got to go plug it in. Well, the man's the vehicle with the motor, and we got to pull up to the house to get plugged in, charged up to get back out there and keep going and come back to mama, charged up and go back out there because we can get the job done. Do you get it? One's not better than the other, and they damn sure need each other. And I don't think you see how important it is, because you've been allowing these, like that dumb niggerish woman who made that comment. There's a lot more of them out there. Anybody in the music industry and all that, they're worthless. The banking, worthless. Nothing matters now because your little goofy boy Biden. Some of y'all voted in for this motherfucker this individual, excuse my French, who praised a cyclops of all things openly, used the word nigger several times since the 670s. I don't get how those in my bracket, and my aunts and all, I vote for this thing and then carry on in a way that I'm sitting there saying, you can't make this up. How can we become angry for those who've kept our people in such You get where I'm coming from. I'm not into politics. I'm going to do a podcast later on today, and we'll address some of those things. Like I said, I already mentioned a couple of topics, but it'll be whatever I desire for the betterment of our people. It shows you a wonderful thing with just $1, alluding it to be a $10 between 3 people. It could be 100 people, and it could stay in that circle. And the relevance of that is we keep going outside instead of keeping it inside. We don't have to be mafia tactics and this, that. I got to break your leg because you didn't want to pay me. If you keep it, it's like you can't take one bean and take a bite off of it, pass it to 100 people. But if I took the bean and planted it, and everybody cultivated and watched it and made sure that it was nourished, that if it looked like it was wilting, they would get the cane sugar and water, mix it and pour it in the soil, move it to the better position of sunlight. To 100 people, now you can feed 1,000. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's worthy of passing around. That's just one of the first stages. The other one is not being so lazy and being able to join together and come together in silence and listen to one voice, to be the voice, to have connection for everyone to be a voice as one voice, to manifest something different. And if y'all don't take that serious, yeah, ain't no hope. For those of you who believe in the word hope, oh well. Some of you think by just being informed and doing nothing, you're going to be all right. You're going to be held accountable. It's a reality, and it sucks. Let's say we all get on to the other side, right? And we're all looking at each other. That's all I had to do? It's always the case, isn't it? I could have done that. No, you didn't know how to step over and just do it. You, the majority of you are cowards. You are blindly so. You're scared. Doesn't matter how much this happens. Doesn't matter how much you think these are turning. Doesn't matter how much you lifting and which. Take it from my ex-power lift. It don't matter. I realized that, and I was like, now I walk around and I'm saying my body is like, wait, you got to put me under some stress. I'm attempting to get my body not to be under no stress, and that's a fight in itself. It's only a fight in itself because I'm making a fight in itself because I have a hard time not wanting to lift something. I want to get to the point where I can't lift nothing heavy. The illusion of. But here, and what I am, I can lift a building. You get what I'm saying? I know that's reaching to ask you to understand what I'm saying. But if you start looking at yourself and the reality of it, what you're capable of, anyway, I'm tired. I need to go back to sleep. Turn off this damn light, first of all, because this is too much. And I have to run around a little bit this morning, pick up postal and all that. I just want to come on shit, all right? I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate you guys coming in. No, you know where I stand. You know I love y'all. I don't have all the answers, far from it. But I had a little dream. And I was like, either I need to talk about this now. I need to use some things to show you the elusiveness of the enemy, how it's been very pragmatic to them, and how important you are to self and the fact that we need to stick together and its importance and relevance. I hope I crossed that field and you got that. I know some of you might have come in a little late. We know we had the little peepee heads come in looking, and which is fine. They need to. I welcome all trolls and imbeciles who are dead and walking. But share this. I know some of you go, you get bigger audience if you want to say hurtful things. No. Be a bigger audience if so many people weren't so hurt about things that didn't matter and paid attention to the things that did. Like I said, so weak in thought, and in that process of a thought to what seems to be relative when it's not relative. Become relative as you're supposed to be. You feel me? Anyway, y'all have a good time. Excuse a couple of little slip-ups there. I detest certain individuals in their acting roles, in their debut roles, regardless of when it started, 50s, 40, 30 years ago. I don't care. I detest them. Their destruction is imminent. They just wallowing around, believing in the lies they're being gifted with because they've been allowed to be so perverse for so long. You have to have those who are allowed to do some deviant things even to the end of their life. For others to realize they have a choice, and if they make the wrong choice, well, it's a cyclic thing. Whether you want to cloning or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right, so you guys, I'll see y'all a little later. I gotta close my eyes for another hour or two. All right. And any beautiful sisters came in because nobody popped up. My beautiful brothers, love y'all. I'm gonna tap on this because I got to turn it off, you know. And if you're in there and you said anything, I respect that. And I got to change the top of that tripod. It sucks ass. Rhonda, what's going on, brother? Equator 7, what's going on? Evelyn, hey, what's going on, hon? Bless up, everybody. I hope there's something you can share with some family members or whatever. I hope it's decent enough for your children to listen to. If they stand still, and don't put your children on Ritalin. They're supposed to be full of energy. That was just another way to dumb us down. All right. See y'all later.